Call to order the Monday, November 3rd, 2025 Common Council meeting. Roll call, please. Okay, let the record reflect the quorum is present and the gentleman from the 5th is excused. At this time, I would ask for everyone to please rise for a moment of silence. Tonight, I would like to ask that moment of silence be made in memory of a very special lady who passed away recently, who loved this city, who loved her district, and more importantly, loved her husband of nearly 56 years, Sue Rose, who passed away. Please keep the Rose family, their entire family, in our thoughts and prayers. We will miss her, and we wish nothing but the best for her and him and his entire family as they go through this difficult process, followed by the pledge. Approving the minutes of the meeting held October 20th, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
It's been moved and second to approve. Any changes or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please continue.
Citizens' comments. Alexandra Aller.
If we could please get your name and address for the record, please.
Yes. My name is Alexandra Aller, and I live at 4525 Fifth Avenue in Kenosha, Wisconsin. My name is Alex, and I'm a resident of Kenosha. I am a mom and a local business owner. And today I want to talk about the Microsoft AI Center that has been built in Kenosha and is scheduled to become operational in 2026, early 2026. AI centers pose a much greater risk and harm than our community is aware of, and more importantly, there are now studies and facts about the damage they cause economically, environmentally, and on the surrounding community of Kenosha residents. Our neighbors in Caledonia, community members and officials, band together to successfully cancel Microsoft plans for an AI center. Port Washington is now on the same mission. And it's not just Wisconsin, where communities are fighting it. 16 different cities across the US between May and this past March, May of last year and this past March, have made strides in either delaying or entirely rejecting AI centers in their communities. They often offer lofty promises of the future and progress and employment, but what we can actually expect as a community is a 267% increase in electricity costs for residents who live near data centers, footing the bill for these companies' obscene power usage. The lowest number of jobs per square foot in their facilities, a small fraction compared to if the land was used for office spaces, a factory, or warehouse, and that is coming from the Wall Street Journal. 2.8 million gallons of Lake Michigan water drained per year just to cool the equipment, and destroyed ecosystems in our water because that the water that will be returning is returned warmer. Lake Michigan is our greatest resource and most natural beauty. I call on you all to consider the economic and environmental impact this will have on us today and our future generations, and, of course, residents in our community today. My question is, why is Microsoft being allowed to open with this new knowledge? And if we do, how do our elected officials plan to prepare for it? What is the long-term effect of coolant in our water being put back into the ecosystem? Have we tested the water they will need to put back? Will we do so regularly? What information can we offer the community to make sure that we're not footing the bill for the electric companies and paying the cost of polluted water? Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Rimkus.
Okay. Jason Remkus, 6715 45th Avenue, Kenosha, Wisconsin, and my condolences to the Rose family as well. Rarely do I come to the meetings, and if I do, it's something maybe important or historic, and definitely tonight, because I'm proud to say that we're celebrating 40 years of community media in Kenosha. Now, why is it important? Why telling you guys this night? Well, let's take the Wayback Machine back to 40 years ago, October of 1985. Mayor John Bellotti taking bids from the cable companies to string cables on the public rights-of-way, but exchanged to also say we would like a community media center in Kenosha, and the city prevailed. They made the contract, and John Bellotti had that vision, and not just do it a couple of years, but let's do it a good 15 years. And it went off great. There was a lot of talent that was showcased in Kenosha, all the public, what the city has to offer, and a lot of nonprofit organizations went well. Then you get to the mark in the mid-90s. Then a new mayor, Mayor John Anaramian's in office. They look at the contract ending, look at it, him and Frank Passetti go into negotiations, says, we want this, we want to keep it going. It wasn't 7 days, 7 months, it was 7 years in the negotiations. And do you know what happened? The city won out. And it just makes me feel really good what happens in this room, what the votes really mean, and in the community as well. Even after that, then we had more nonprofit organizations. The Kenosha Literacy Council, year after year, we were highlighting the Kenosha Symphony Orchestra. Great people coming through year after year. And then even when the new mayor, in 2015, at the 30-year mark, we had Mayor Bosman. He came into our annual banquet, hands me a proclamation and says, keep it going. I mean, it just really feels good because it's like, the whole community is still going, and again, back to that visionary 40 years ago, thinking not short-term, but long-term. And that even brings us up today, where it's like, we've got even the state, this wasn't handed to me 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was this year from the state of Wisconsin Community Media of what great things are going on here in Kenosha that we've been covering over the years. It's still going. Kenosha Police Department contacted me a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be recording their presentation as well. So Kenosha Water Utilities, Southwest Public Library, all the public library branches that we're showcasing. I want to thank, again, Mayor Bogdala and the current Common Council for their support and for what great things they're doing out in the community that we can highlight that, throughout the year as well. Boys and Girls Clubs, Society Assets. And so it's any time that we want to showcase the community, it's just a great thing that we have here in Kenosha. So I want to thank not only this council and mayor, but also all through the 4 decades as well. And I want to thank you, and you have a great meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Okay, please continue.
B, communications, petitions, reports of departments. B1, approval of the following applications. A17, operators licenses. B2, special class B beer and or special class B wine licenses. C1, taxi driver license. D2, amusement and recreation enterprise supervisor licenses.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Make a motion to approve.
Moved and second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
B2, appointment by the Common Council to fill the vacancy in the 4th Aldermanic District. Applicants will be given the opportunity to make a brief speech, 5-minute limit, outlining their qualifications and reasons for seeking this position. Applicants will answer questions of the Common Council. A roll call vote using a paper ballot will be held. The successful candidate will need to receive a majority vote of the alderpersons present. In alphabetical order, Rex Davenport.
Mr. Davenport, please come forward. And the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Decades ago, I covered a city council meeting in Carmel, Indiana. It was the first of hundreds of municipal and school board meetings I reported on in my newspaper career. Along the way, I also interviewed hundreds of elected officials, appointed citizens, municipal employees, town managers, city engineers, parks departments leaders, and others who keep governments running. I've been fortunate to ride along with police officers and snowplow drivers and to be scared senseless inside a burning building during a fire department training fire. I've spent time with public health officers and election officials, and I would never suggest that those interactions and the resulting articles necessarily qualify me to hold public office. But I think those years give me an appreciation of the work, most of it happening outside of what the public sees, that it takes to keep representative government working and serving its constituencies. That experience might also help me bring me up to speed if I'm voted to fill this temporary role. At one stop in my career in Plant City, Florida, I had to report on the city's finances for the first time. The city manager, Nettie Drawn, looked like someone who should have been the author of a pie recipe cookbook. She was, as it turned out, a steel-spined defender of the public's money. She led me through valuation methods, market value, millage rates, setting the levy, exemptions, and credits. Then she explained how that applied to the city's annual operating expenses, as well as its debt obligations and capital needs. I wrote my first city finance story that year. Every year, then for the next 5, I had her walk me through the lesson again. I used that experience for the rest of my newspaper career, coaching young reporters how to ask the right questions to report on property taxes and budgets. But why am I really here? It's important to keep the pipeline full of people who want to serve in elected and appointed roles. The city may be doing that, but I'd like to know more and how I could help. We have resources in Kenosha that we need to preserve and to protect, not just our lakefront and our water. We have historic buildings and unique neighborhoods that deserve protection. I've spoken with several of you of my concerns over food and housing security. I wasn't thrilled to see plans to turn a purpose-built supermarket into a school, especially east of 22nd Avenue, where the city has a serious lack of fresh food options. How could the city be more proactive in helping solve this challenge? Can the city do more to encourage and enable construction of affordable single-family homes, even in the face of skyrocketing costs? I love the look of all the new high-end apartments, but those apartments are not a realistic option for many people. I love the city's commitment to public arts, activities, and events, not just the big ones, like our parade and fireworks. It adds to the quality of life for our citizens and visitors. Kenosha's commitment to the frequency and variety of free music is something cities of our size seldom do. Also, city resources seem to be readily offered to others who produce events on city sites. I avidly support that spending. Oh, and I love the streetcars. Lastly, for now, I have a deep interest in controlled, logical development of the 4th District and the North Side. When my wife and I built our house 35 years ago, it was on newly platted land that a few years before was an orchard. In the years since, we've seen a lot of new housing and retail and medical buildings on our side of town. We saw the arrival of the Northside Library and Station 6. Stuck in a filing cabinet in my house was a copy of the Parkside South Neighborhood Plan from 2007. I attended a lot of those meetings. Many of the areas of concern from that study 18 years ago still exist. Streets and roads, zoning and land use, environmental concerns, residential uses, and the oversight and review of new development. As both a longtime resident of the area and if appointed its alderman, I would continue to pay close attention to the changes in our district and work to represent the best interests of all of our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, next up is Craig Sater.
Hi, good evening, members of the council, and thank you for the opportunity to talk tonight. My name is Craig Sater, and I'm honored to be here to be considered for Kenosha's 4th District Alderman. I'm applying for this role because I care deeply for our city, our neighborhoods, and the people that make it thrive. The vacancy left by former Councilmember Kangas left both a need for leadership and an opportunity to continue her legacy of a community-minded service. I want to carry that forward, listening to residents, building connections, and making sure every voice in our district is heard. In my current role as Options Counselor for Aging and Disability Resource Center of Racine County, I work directly with seniors and individuals with disabilities, listening to their concerns, helping them navigate barriers, and connecting them with vital programs and services. This job has taught me to listen deeply, gather complex information, find creative solutions for people facing challenges. I've become skilled at sorting resources, learning new systems quickly, and most importantly, treating every person with compassion and respect. I believe these are all things that an alderman should have. These are essential skills: listening, learning, and doing that collaboratively. Beyond my professional life, I'm honored to and proud to serve in several areas of our community, from community building, environmental efforts, to religious efforts and recovery support for people that struggle with addiction. I believe that a healthy community is one where we lift each other up, whether caring for the environment or people struggling with mental health. As an alderman, my goal will be to listen to residents' concerns and make sure that those concerns turn into action. That means addressing everyday issues that matter to families, from road repair to infrastructure improvements to neighborhood safety, parks, and public spaces. When local government is responsive, transparent, and proactive, it builds the trust and environment for the community. My educational background, a master's in applied professional studies, leadership certificates, ecological restoration, and community design, reflect my commitment to lifelong learning and innovation. I've worked in aging, public health, job training, nonprofit outreach, including helping individuals re-enter the workforce after incarceration. Across all these roles, one common thread stands out. I've always been driven to serve and empower others. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm ready to serve the 4th District with dedication, compassion, and integrity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I will open it up to alderpersons' questions or comments, if there are any. And let's see, gentleman from the first.
Thank you, and just a real simple thank you to both candidates. I think we're very fortunate that we have some seemingly very qualified people stepping up here, and as we all know, we don't do this for fame and fortune, so this is a commitment, and to have people that are showing the interest and really want to do things that'll make a difference in our city, I applaud your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And gentleman from the 16th.
Thank you. Thank you both candidates for putting your hat in the ring. The job doesn't pay much, but it's very worthwhile. Thank you. To Mr. Davenport, I got a question. What do you think your District 4 most needs, or what's your first thing, if you get elected tonight, what's your first thing you want to do to help your district?
Well, beyond meeting as many people as I can, as quickly as I can, I think understanding people's questions about the delivery of city services, whether they think they're getting what they're paying for in taxes, if they feel they're getting responses that they deserve. We are fortunate in the 4th District in that it being a little newer in terms of development. There aren't the overwhelming issues with infrastructure that there are in, I won't say overwhelming issues. Infrastructure is less an issue than it is other places. I do think there will be pressure for development because there's only so much land, and it is a growing area. And I think probably the biggest concern will be controlling that growth in a way that serves the city and the neighborhoods. I think that's would be my first interest.
Thank you, thank you. I'd like to ask the same question to the next candidate.
Thank you so much for that question. And I think what the first thing that comes to my mind is how do I serve my constituents? So I'd want to hear what people have to say on that end. I want to look at what Alderwoman Kangas did too and keep looking into what she was doing. As was mentioned, infrastructure is a really important thing. Food insecurity, housing, those are all things that are very important. But really what comes to mind first and most important is what do the residents want? Because I can come here and be like, this is what I want, but that's not my job as an alderman. It's to listen to what everybody wants and do my best on that. Thank you.
Thank you, that's all I have, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Gentleman from the 3rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to say thank you to the two prospective candidates, Mr. Davenport and Mr. Sater, because you've made our job here very difficult. I just want to say thank you for making it tough for us.
Thank you, sir. And gentleman from the 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, I want to echo the same sentiments and thanking the candidates for stepping up. This is not something that is, like is mentioned before, this is a very thankless job. And oftentimes, it comes with a lot of hard decisions. So my question to both candidates, sometimes on council, and what I've learned is being one of the newest members of this body, is that you have to make decisions that are unpopular decisions, and sometimes you don't agree, or sometimes you're not going to agree with the members that are sitting alongside you. Can each of you speak to how you would deal with somebody not voting the same way you would vote, or a difference of opinion, and how you would handle that for the good of the 4th District?
That is a really good question. And I think that one thing that really attracts me to you all is how well people get along in this divided political world. I feel like the Kenosha Common Council is such a good example of people working together despite having differences. So me, if people voted differently than me, I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? We're all doing the best that we can do. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, to a certain degree, but I want to just take it back to let's say we had a difficult or controversial issue. Mm-hmm. How would you vote knowing that this issue was something that may have divided the council?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to vote with what my constituents want and what I think is the right thing. I am unabashed. I'm as genuine as I can be, and I have definitely been unpopular a lot in my life. But I'm going to do the right thing. I can promise you that. Thank you.
And I'll pose the same question to the next candidate.
Thank you, and I can echo the opinion of being unpopular at times. I've worked in journalism a long time, where you're seldom popular with everyone. I feel like I am good at listening and being as empathetic as possible, but at some point, you have to make decisions, and sometimes those decisions are very hard. And I think that it is important to listen to what the people in the 4th District are saying and their wishes, but sometimes it comes down to the neighborhood level, and you're making a decision that may affect one person on one side of the street differently than a person on the other side of the street. And even after you take that into consideration, I think you all know that you have to represent the wants and needs of the entire city, not just your own district. And I believe I'm capable of doing that and not worrying about whether I'm particularly popular about it, but I do think I'm an active listener and will do my best to hear what people are saying and make the decision that is right, at least in my own heart. And then eventually election day comes and they will tell you whether you were right or not.
Thank you so much. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. And gentleman from the second.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I'm glad that there are two people interested in a vacancy in a situation such as this. But my question would be, and it doesn't matter which of you two answer first. We all come to the council with a varying degree of experience in our work life and our personal life. And I would like to know from each of the candidates what sort of personality skills you will rely on the most in this new role of being a member of city council. I was just kind of curious what sort of life experience or professional experience will you be relying on mostly to do your job, to find your way through a very long learning curve.
Well, I've certainly held a few positions that required juggling skills in terms of dealing with employees and the public. I think that I have my own way of doing things, but I've also been in the position of having to mesh well with teams. I have led large teams. I had 50 employees working for me at one time. That was not fun. But I've had to make a lot of decisions that over the years have not been particularly popular, but I learned how to lead groups, small groups, larger groups. I've been not particularly largely active in the community, but I have served on several nonprofits. I was on the board of Harbor Market for a few years. I was with the Lemon Street Gallery as president of their board for a few years during COVID, where we fought to keep it open. I believe I'm good at team building, and that comes from, again, decades of management roles. I've never been, well, I think I have the leadership skills that will serve me well should I be appointed.
I can certainly tell that we are both very similar, me and Rex, so I can understand why this is difficult, because I too, my background in education, I'm addicted to learning, and that is the skill I'm going to use the most. It's the, my master's in leadership and public service, and working for the ADRC, I have to ask a lot of questions. I have to gather a lot of information. So if I was in this job, it would be learning, and that is something that's really important. I also have a background in the arts, theater, music, and those things, and the ability to communicate with other people go along with that. And then I also have a background in listening with my current role and with conflict management. And those are all really important things. And I also will rely upon my degree on how to utilize an effective, role of being in public service. Thank you.
Jump from a second, anything else? Okay. Lady from a 12.
Thank you. I spoke with both candidates, and I did not get a chance to ask Mr. Davenport. No, I asked Mr. Davenport the question, but now if I could ask you, Mr. Souter, if Alderwoman Kangas had not stepped down, would you have been interested in running, and if so, why?
Absolutely, I would have run. I'd been thinking about this for a while now. I mean, it's a true fact. And the reason is I want to serve our community, helping our community, serving others. I was told by some people on the council how much of an opportunity this is to serve others, and that's what I want to do. So I was planning to do that, and yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Gentleman from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a point of order to my colleague from the 12th. I don't know if you want Rex to come up. What was his response to that question? I thought it was a great question, and I feel kind of hidden with what his response was.
Thank you. I was a very satisfied constituent of Holly, and I would not have run against her if she was still serving.
Thank you very much. I yield my time back.
Okay, anyone else? If not, you all have ballots on your desk. I would ask you all to mark the box. Don't worry if it's not fully marked in. We will still count that. Clerks will come by, pick those up, and read those ballots out, and then we will identify the individual. The individual will be sworn in. They will be seated. However, that individual will not be voting on anything tonight, but they will be seated here as a part of the rest of this meeting.
Alderperson Hoggard, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Seal, Craig Sater. Alderperson Mahalski, Craig Sater. Alderperson Faree, Rex Davenport. Alderperson McKay, Craig Sater. Alderperson Keeling, Craig Sater. Alderperson Rosenberg, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Kennedy, Craig Sater. Alderperson Pizzala, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Dyson, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Wilson, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Harper, Rex Davenport. Alderperson Rose, Craig Sater. Alderperson Ruffalo, Craig Sater. Alderperson DeBear, Rex Davenport.
So for those at home counting, Mr. Rex Davenport with 8 votes, Mr. Craig Sater with 7 votes. Mr. Davenport is hereby appointed. I'd ask you, Mr. Davenport, to please come forward for the oath of office, and then we will have you be seated.
For the city of Kenosha, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you.
And then
Alderperson Davenport, would you like to? Before we proceed on to the next item, I think everybody here, I think the council president said it best. This was an extremely hard decision, I know, for the council, but we had 2 very qualified applicants. I really appreciate both of you stepping up to this role. This, quite frankly, until this job, this was the best job I ever had in my life, serving this community, serving your districts. I know you've kind of hit the ground at an interesting time as we're right in the middle of our budget. But I would say that we are here, we pledge our support to you to help you as you guide you through not only the budget and council meetings, but as you're dealing with your district and any questions that myself or the staff can answer. We're here for you, Alderperson Davenport. To Mr. Sater, I hope that we will continue to see you involved. There are lots of opportunities that I think we can continue to discuss, and how you can continue to serve not just the district but the city overall, and continue your service that you've identified here tonight. So thank you both for the opportunity. Serving the public, particularly on a local level, is the most rewarding job I think you'll ever have. And so congratulations to Alderperson Davenport for your appointment here tonight, and good luck.
We got a bunch of homework on the desk in front of you.
Okay, please continue.
C, recommendations from the Committee on Licenses and Permits. C1, applications for new operators licenses. A, Terrabas 80, B, Angel Pina 40.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to concur with the recommendation of license and permit to approve.
Moved and seconded to concur on C1. At this time, open up to a hearing. Anyone here to speak on item C1, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Seeing none, close the hearing. Motion on the floor is concurrence. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
C2, application of Vincent Schmidt for a new operator's license.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I make a motion to deny based on material police records essentially related to the license activity and false application.
Moved and seconded to deny. At this time, open up to a hearing. Anyone here speaking item C2? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Vincent M. Schmidt, address 4410 Yates Drive, Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin, 53403.
Floor is yours, sir. Right now, the motion is to deny, but the floor is yours for whatever you have to say.
Thank you. I was on the phone earlier today with two individuals from the city of Kenosha, and I was here asking for the court to grant me this to go back to license and permitting. I've brought with some of the paperwork to substantiate my claim from earlier, and at this time I'm requesting further information and guidance in which direction to go and what needs to be provided to fully substantiate this claim.
Okay, there is no back and forth here, but you've made your comment known. I'll probably will defer to the chairman of the committee here and once we finish the hearing, unless there's anything else you have to say.
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close the hearing. Motion on the floor is to deny. Any comments on denial? Gentleman from the 3rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was one of the gentlemen that Mr. Schmidt talked to, and in our conversation, he expressed understanding of the reason why the denial was there. For the backup, there was a lot of the same thing repetitive, but it was, I'm told, a result of a medical issue, which he believes has been resolved. And I suggested that perhaps if he requests a referral back to committee, that in writing he has affidavits, et cetera, to prove basically that that problem has been resolved. That might result in a different outcome on the committee level and possibly on the council level. So if I may, to Mr. Schmidt, do you have enough time to get this up, all the information ready before the next license and permit meeting? Should we refer it back to committee?
Yes, sir. I just required 96 hours.
Okay. Thank you. Having said that, I would like to make understanding that there are a lot of complicated things, and I don't want to go into the medical history right now because of HIPAA requirements. There are just some things that I did suggest that he talk to a city attorney as far as what he needs to bring and what he cannot bring forth, and to proceed further. So having said that, I will make a motion to refer back to committee, given the understanding that he should, by this time, have whatever, and if he cannot convince the committee, well, the committee is, if any, is nothing if not fair, but at least this will give him an opportunity to present his medical evidence and all of his affidavit to say that what has happened in the past is not likely to recur. Thank you, and with that, I will make a motion to refer back to committee.
Is there a second to refer back to committee? Moving and second to refer back to committee. On the motion to send back to committee. Gentleman from the 16th.
Yes, I'm not in favor of sending it back to the committee. I'm looking at 690 points. And he didn't put any of them down. Most of them are for the same thing, but they're 690 points. I don't agree with sending it back to the committee whatsoever, so. I don't know why he didn't show up at our last meeting, but he's here tonight, but it's still 690 points, so my mind's made up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gentleman from the 10th.
Just a point of clarification, the applicant did tell us he could not make it to our last council meeting. That's why we deferred it to this one. But when the applicant was at committee, He had an opportunity to speak, had an opportunity to defend. I do not remember him speaking of anything in reference to a medical condition. However, I have to echo the comments of the alderperson and vice chair of license and permit. The record is there. And when you look at the application, take you to go to page 5 of the application. It just says traffic citation 2025. And if you look at the application, you see how many were not written down. I will not be in support of deferral. I believe the applicant had his opportunity at license and permit, but if the council deems otherwise, we will listen to it again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And gentleman from the 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a member of the committee, I also will not be in favor of this going back to committee. I echo the sentiments of the chairman of the License and Permits Committee that the applicant had ample opportunity to voice those issues, and those issues were not voiced during any of the testimony that he gave us at committee. So I would not be in favor of sending it back to committee.
Okay, thank you, sir. Gentleman from the second.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's an awful lot of points. It's the second highest I've seen. The first highest was also that same night. It was a very demanding committee meeting. And one thing that I heard from this applicant that, it was a bit of a salient point, but what he wound up doing was making a false claim of a character reference on a current member of City Council. Come to find out that association isn't true. So beyond looking past all of these many infractions and then not listing them, I'm sorry. There's probably a lot of other jobs out there, but we're held to a certain standard on this committee. I won't be supporting the motion before us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, motion on the floor is to send back to committee. Roll call has been requested. Roll call. An aye vote would be to send it back to committee, a no vote would reject that.
Motion fails 13-2.
Okay. Back to the original motion to deny, based on concur with the license permit recommendation, correct, Mr. Chair? Yes, sir. Okay. Motion on the floor is concurrence. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Opposed. One nay. Please continue.
C3, application of Latoya Brantley for a new operator's license.
Gentleman from the 10th.
I make a motion to deny based on material police record and false application.
Moved and seconded, correct? Alderperson from 14th? Okay. At this time, open up to a hearing. Anyone here to speak on item C3, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Seeing none, close the hearing. Motion on the floor is concurrence without license permit, which is to deny. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
C4, application of Patrice Lamingio for a new operator's license.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to concur with the recommendation on license and permit to grant at 90 demerit points.
Moved and seconded to concur. At this time, open it up to a public hearing, or to a hearing. Anyone here to speak on item C5, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, good evening, sorry. My name's Patrice Lamingio, and my address is 7446 22nd Avenue, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
The floor is yours to say whatever you have.
I just want to thank the committee for giving me a chance to get my bartender's license. I think that's it. I just want to thank them, that's all. Let's see.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, one thing. It is one, just one. Okay. Like I told them, I have been in the food service for 20 plus years. And one of the reasons that I know I said it before, it's just that I just feel that the reason that they had deferred me wasn't understandable to me, because I did ask other bartenders as far as how they got their bartender's license and how far that they have to go back into their criminal record. And they only went back a couple of years, which my case was 20 plus years old. And that was the reason why they deferred me back to the committee. When other bartenders, records was fresh, like 2 years old. And they didn't make them go through the stuff that I had to go through to get their bartender's license. So I just thought that it was it just didn't make any sense to me, why I had to prove my character when my cases was over 20 plus years old, when I haven't been in any trouble. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. If not, I'm going to go ahead and close the hearing. If there's questions, from the council, we'll ask you to come back up.
Okay.
At this time, I'll close the hearing. Motion on the floor is concurrence with LP, which was to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, one nay.
C5, application of Danelle Franks for a new operator's license.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I make a motion to concur with the recommendation of license permit to deny based on material police record and false application.
Okay, at this time, open it up to a hearing. Anyone here to speak in item C5? Please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Seeing none, close the hearing. Motion on the floor is concurrence. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
C6, application of Tina Weiland for a new operator's license.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Mr. Mayor, is Ms. Weiland here? I think I made a mistake at committee meeting. Ms. Weiland did speak to the clerk. We said that we would move this forward, and if she was here tonight, I would give an opportunity to send it back to committee. I think I might have made a mistake at committee, so I'll ask the motion to refer back to committee, please.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded to send item C6 back to committee. It is noted for hearing. I will, is the applicant here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak? Seeing none, close the hearing. Motion on the floor is to send back to committee. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
C7, application of CCIA Pub Management LLC for a daily cabaret license located at 6832 24th Avenue for an event to be held on November 8, 2025, with no adverse recommendations from the police department.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I make a motion to approve C7, C8, C9 after being read and any necessary applicant hearings.
C8, application of GFWC Women's Club of Kenosha for a daily cabaret license located at 6028 8th Avenue for an event to be held on November 8, 2025, with no adverse recommendations from the police department. C9, application of Yash Sports Bar LLC located at 3216 60th Street with no adverse recommendations from the police department. A new Class B beer and Class B liquor license upon surrender of a similar license from RP Consulting LLC. B, permanent outdoor extension.
Okay, at this time, open up to a hearing. Anyone here speak on C7, 8, or 9, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here speak on C7, 8, 9? Anyone here speak? Seeing none, close the hearing. Motion on the floor is concurrence. Mr. Chair? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
C10, application of Serenity and Peace LLC for a new massage establishment license located at 3717 52nd Street with no adverse recommendations from the police department.
Make a motion to deny due to violation of 13.125E1A4.
Moved and seconded to deny. At this time, I'll open up to a hearing. Anyone here speaking on item C10? Just need your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Anthony Buchanan, 2320 71st Street, Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm aware that my application is up for denial. I was hoping to amend my application, but it was not possible. The council members asked if I would bring in the therapist that would be working there and also the owner of the building. They're both here. Therapist is here with a translator. I don't know if they're able to speak or not. I realized at the last meeting that there is something wrong with the license that was in my application. There was a mix-up. When I picked it up, I tried to amend, was not able to. I do have the proper licenses, was hoping for another chance to amend my application and talk to everybody involved in my business to get it open and running. That's it.
Anything else you wanted to add, sir?
No.
Okay, if there are other questions from the council, we'll call you back up. Anyone else here to speak on C10?
My name is Florencio Alvarez. I'm the owner of the building. It's under a limited liability company, AJMA
Can we get
LLC.
your address, sir?
Sure, it's 808 Briote Street in Burlington, Wisconsin. I've had properties up here in Kenosha for the last 30 years. You know, I've had the property up for rent. You know, it's been vacant since March. Excuse me?
Sir?
This is an applicant hearing, and the person has stated that they're the owner of the building, not an applicant.
You are correct, sir. And I believe the gentleman from the 10th is correct, Mr. City Attorney. If someone was to make a motion to open it to a public hearing, we could have other applicants. Right now, this hearing is for the applicant. That
Okay.
gentleman spoke. So at this time,
Okay, I
Unfortunately, sir.
understand. I just thought somebody wanted me here, but that's okay.
okay. If there are questions that people have, the council has the ability to
Call me.
ask them directly to you, or they could ask for a public hearing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nope, that was
Okay.
my
Thank you.
mistake. At this time, we will close the applicant hearing. Motion on the floor is to deny. Gentleman from the 16th.
Yes, Mr. Knight, I usually ask you ahead of time, but can you look up the violation, so 13.125E1A4, and read it to us? I know what it is, but probably the rest of the council is unaware of exactly what it reads, and that's why we We turned it down.
13.125 subsection E 1A4 reads, only massage therapists or bodywork therapists licensed pursuant to Wisconsin state statute shall be employed as massage therapists or bodywork therapists by the establishment.
Thank you.
Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It was the understanding at committee that the therapist listed in the application had a lapsed massage therapist license, thus in violation of the ordinance. If they want to amend their license, I think the proper thing would be to vote this one down and let them reapply. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion on the floor is to deny. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
F zoning ordinances first reading. F1 zoning ordinance by the mayor to create subsection 18.02 TTTTT of the zoning ordinance to amend the corridor land use plan as referenced in the comprehensive plan for the city of Kenosha 2035.
Move to send
Jim?
F1 its way.
Moving to second to send F1 on its way. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I resolutions. I1 resolution by the mayor providing for a spring primary for city elections.
Motion?
A motion to approve I-1. Second. And I-2 after being read.
I2 resolution by the mayor to assign new ward polling places for voting purposes.
Okay, at this time, open up to a public hearing. Anyone here to speak on item I2, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone here speak? Anyone here speak? If not, close the public hearing. Motion on the floor is approval of item I1 and I2. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye, those opposed no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0. I3 resolution by the mayor to authorize the transfer of ownership of one parcel from the city of Kenosha to Torreson Builders and Properties LLC. Finance recommended to approve 5-0.
Gentleman from the 13th.
Move to concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee.
Second. Second.
On I3, Mr. Chair?
I3.
And I4?
You talked me into it, Mr. Mayor. I4 as well.
I4 resolution by the Board of Water Commissioners to place special assessments against benefited parcels of property on the 2025 real estate tax roll for the construction of water sewer mains, connections, laterals, lead service line replacements, and delinquent water, sewerage, and household hazardous waste bills, etc., in an amount not to exceed $1,822,922.60. Finance recommended to approve 5-0.
Gentleman from the second.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I looked high and low on item I3. I just wanted to know the location of that property. Ah, very good.
Yeah, apologies in retrospect, it should have been in the body of the memo. It was the last page.
You know, I thought I saw some information on that, so I'm happy to hear it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, motion on the floor is concurrence. All those in favor will vote aye, those opposed no. Roll call, please.
Alderpersons Seal and Pizzala. Motion carries 15-0. J, appointments, reappointments by the mayor. J1, appointment of Sunil Chainani to the Kenosha Public Library Board of Trustees to fill a term that will begin November 4, 2025 and will expire June 30, 2028.
Gentleman from the second.
Yes, I support the appointments of J1, J2, and J3.
That was a motion to approve.
It was a motion to approve, sorry.
Seconded by the gentleman from the 16th. Any discussion? Seeing none. Oh, sorry.
J2, appointment of Jandal Kelly Pietra to the Kenosha Lakeshore Business Improvement District Board of Directors to fill a term that will begin November 19, 2025 and will expire November 18, 2028. J3, appointment of Jennifer Zorner to the Kenosha Lakeshore Business Improvement District Board of Directors to fill a term that will begin November 19, 2025 and will expire November 18, 2028.
Okay, now, motion on the floor is approval of J1 through J3. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye, those opposed no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0. L, other contracts and agreements. L1, building lease agreement between Kenosha County and City of Kenosha for installation of freestanding antenna facilities.
Gentleman from the 11th. Alderman Pizzala, Vice Chairman of Public Safety. Would you like to second that, Alderman Pizzala? Motion on the floor is approval of item L1. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye, those opposed no. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Pizzala. Thank you. Motion carries 15-0. L2, digital radio and antenna system replacement by and between the City of Kenosha, Wisconsin through the Board of Transit Commission and Baycom. Finance recommended to approve 5-0. Transit recommended to approve 6-0.
Gentleman from the 13th.
Move to concur with the Finance Committee recommendation to approve L2.
Which ones, Mr. Chair?
L2.
How about L3 and 4?
L2.
Okay. I couldn't talk you into that one.
No, sir.
Okay, motion on the floor is approval of item L2. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye, those opposed no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0. L3, City of Kenosha Transit Facility Assessment by and between City of Kenosha, Wisconsin through the Board of Transit Commission and Clark Dietz, Inc. Finance recommended to approve 5-0. Transit recommended to approve 6-0.
Gentleman from the 13th.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to concur with the Finance Committee recommendation on L3 through L8 after being read.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Please continue.
L4, termination agreement by and between the City of Kenosha and Rocketman Investments LLC and DBA New Gen Homes. Finance recommended to approve 5-0. L5, Second Amendment to agreement between Torsen Builders and Properties LLC and the City of Kenosha. Finance recommended to approve 5-0. L6, assignment of property maintenance services amendment between Woods Conduit Corporation and Woods Conduit Landscaping and Snow Removal Services. Finance recommended to approve 5-0. L7, property maintenance services amendment by and between the City of Kenosha and Woods Conduit Landscaping and Snow Removal LLC. Finance recommended to approve as amended 5-0. L8, Second Amendment to offer to purchase by and between City of Kenosha and Danish Brotherhood Lodge Number 14. Finance recommended to approve 5-0.
Okay, motion on the floor is approval of L3 through L8. Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What's the address on L3, please? I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, all those in favor will vote aye, those opposed, no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0. M, recommendations from the Committee on Finance. M1, request for review of a special charge for snow removal in the total amount of $213.20 for 1709 31st Street. Finance recommended to rescind, approve the request to rescind 4-1.
Gentleman from 13th.
Move to concur with the Finance Committee recommendation on M1.
Motion on the floor is to concur with the recommendation, which was to rescind. At this time, open up to a hearing. Anyone here speaking on M1, please come forward, state your name and address. Gentleman from first, can you help bring that?
Linda Rossman, 1709 31st Street, Kenosha, Wisconsin. I don't remember what I'm saying.
If there's just, if there's anything you'd like to say, this is your hearing to say whatever. I know you were in finance and spoke, but if there's anything you'd like the rest of the council to hear that was not in finance, this is your moment to do that.
Yeah, thank you. It came to my attention from someone else sitting in the hearing. Well, first, I'm sorry. I apologize. I've had another stroke since this. So shoot.
Take your time, it's okay.
I just forgot. Someone had mentioned that it wasn't okay because I should have known or I've been prepared or had money to pay. You know, there's kids walking around and doing shoveling for free and everything, or pay them, or, you know, it doesn't matter. And where I live, no one comes up and down. And then that week, I didn't even have any warning. I had come down with COVID, pneumonia, and the flu. And I didn't even know until Friday that it had snowed. It was just brought to my attention in that hearing that I couldn't remember back that far when it had happened. I called, I made it out to my door because someone had left Tylenol. So I saw a tag. They said, "You have a tag." So I called immediately because I remembered over there also when it stated that I never talked to anyone. I called before I even got the ticket, and I couldn't even barely talk. But the gentleman in the department was very patient, and he let me cough through it and everything. And he told me as long as I tried somehow, that was Friday, before they closed, it should be fine. And so I did do that. But the neighbors on the east side of me did not do that. So I'm supposing, like I said over there, the gentleman, whoever did the cleanup, figured, I forgot, because I had, like I said, I did what the best I could, and I got it down to the nitty gritty, you know, and safely. I left it where it could not fall. It was just, you know, safe. And then they came. I didn't know that because I was still in bed, shaking, hot, cold, sweats, you name it. I don't know if you've ever had COVID, let alone RSV and pneumonia, I forgot, and the flu at the same time. It is not good. So I didn't know till I got the ticket that what I was told on Friday was inaccurate. And I called when I got the ticket, and they said, "Well, you didn't do anything." Well, thank you to a gentleman, I don't even know, that was in the other hearing with me, pointed out my proof that on the M1, there's a picture of what I did after I was told to try. And it's in there, M1, the sidewalk clearing pictures and voices. So I did try. And then when they did it, and they left a sheet of slim ice after, and I called them back on whatever day. No, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I called the next week, and I saw that they did work. And then I called that department back, that office back, and I said, oh my gosh, why did they do that? You said I could leave it, do as best as I could, it would be fine. But now it's danger. It's all slick. Turn the slick a little, you can't even see it. We have elderly and everything, and disabled like myself in this community right here on the streets, and the people walk the dogs and everything. So they had sent someone from that department to assured me they were sending out someone. He was coming out, whoever I spoke to put salt the whole 90 inches, or feet, 90 feet of my front. And then they had to do all the other neighbors because that's how bad they left. The job was done. But for me, I did try. So if anyone could please look at my proof, I did try before I went back in and suffered after more. But I would greatly appreciate everyone to just please give me a chance, because I forgot, I've lived there since 2011, and I've never had this happen. I've always muddled through it one way or another, but I don't have family and friends anymore. I live by myself, I'm disabled, and I was going through, like I said, the physical health issues at that time. So, yeah, I'm being proactive. Luckily, an alderman, after that meeting, gave me something for aging, disability resources, and something else to contact for to try to prevent this from occurring in the future. But for this one, I truly tried to do my best, even though it sounded like some may have thought that I was just trying to scapegoat and not have the city pay for something that I didn't try to do correctly.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Anyone else? Seeing none, close the hearing. Gentleman from the 13th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We've all seen requests to rescind fees over periods of time, dealing with failure to remove snow or property maintenance issues or bulk pickups and that kind of thing. And every time we have an issue that comes before finance and council like this, we have three decisions, three options: to deny the request, to split the cost, or to rescind it outright. And all the time I've served on finance and heard these cases and voted on these cases, I believe this is one that deserves our vote to rescind the costs involved in her appeal for help. She obviously was in no medical condition back in the wintertime to do a complete job. She may have not understood the timeline in which she should have brought it forward earlier, but nonetheless, I would urge my colleagues to support the Finance Committee recommendation to rescind the fee, all the fees and the I know it's $213 or whatever it is. And that's all I have to say, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, the motion on the floor is to rescind the special charge. An aye vote would be to rescind. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 14-1. M2, disbursement record number 19, $9,161,942.30. Finance recommended to approve 5-0.
Gentleman from 13th.
Move to concur with the Finance Committee recommendation to approve M1.
M2.
All right, M2, I'm sorry, sir.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0. And recommendations from the Committee on Public Works. N1, acceptance of project 22-1140, Town and Country Storm Sewer Improvements North, which has been satisfactorily completed by A.W. Oaks and Sons, Inc. The final amount of the contract is $1,793,857.
Gentleman from the 15th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Make a motion to concur with the finding of Public Works to concur on N1, N2, and N3 after being read.
N2, acceptance of project 23-1042, 13th Avenue and 16th Place resurfacing, which has been satisfactorily completed by Cornerstone Pavers LLC. The final amount of the contract is $666,754.88. And 3, acceptance of project 23-1046, 23rd Avenue and 51st Street resurfacing, which has been satisfactorily completed by Cornerstone Pavers LLC. The final amount of the contract is $610,495.36.
Okay, motion on the floor is concurrence on Public Works. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Roll call, please.
Motion carries 15-0.
Okay, mayor's comments. First of all, back to the top. Alderperson Davenport, congratulations. As you can see, this is a whole heck of a lot of fun. And you ain't seen nothing yet. But congratulations to you. Appreciate, again, I think as the council president said, your willingness to step up and serve the community. We all, I think, offer our assistance, helping. My staff will be reaching out here first thing tomorrow morning to get some time on your calendar to help walk you through. As I said, we've got a lot of work ahead of us right now with budget and so forth. Just so everyone knows, it is my intention at the following council meeting to appoint Alderperson Davenport to the Finance Committee to fill that position. Obviously, this week there are meetings on the budget. You're more than welcome to attend those meetings, although you are not effectively a member of that committee yet until after our next council meeting. But we will be providing you with budget and CIP. Of course, we will work you through, and the clerk will help guide you through all the fun stuff about doing the job. But anything that you have, I think you can kind of see that as was stated, this is a council that really works very well together. And I'm looking forward to working with you and what you would like to achieve in the 4th District. And obviously, all the aldermen here are more than capable of helping you as you navigate getting your feet wet. Last thing I would say, we have, first of all, thank you to all of the staff members, citizens who came out and donated blood. As you know, we are in the midst of very serious competition. The Big Ten Challenge is going through this month of November. The University of Wisconsin was leading this for the better part of the last couple of months. I was just made aware today that the University of Nebraska has overtaken Wisconsin by 6 donors. So I would encourage everyone out there, number one, it's a fun way to give back to your community, particularly those who know that there is a need in this community. But also, if successful by the 1st of December, the winning university receives $1 million. And so I think we would all hope to see the University of Wisconsin receive that donation for having the most number of donors. So there's still time. If you'd like more information, you can check out our social media pages, where to sign up. But now through the month of November, hopefully everyone, if you can donate, I encourage you to please donate. It is a very worthwhile cause, not only because of the contest, but because of the great work and the shortages that are out there for the blood supply. So hopefully you will consider do that if you can. Gentleman from the 3rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. I also like to mirror what you said to our newest alderperson. I want to say, you know, there's a lot of the stuff is going to be confusing because there's a lot of technical stuff that might happen that we haven't had to deal with until just recently, like laptops, computers, how to set up your email system. So I'm going to recommend very strongly that you reach out. If you know, they will reach out to you, but you know, a lot of the stuff to the IT department for for how to get your email set up. I know you will be notified by the mayor's office as far as getting various things done. But again, I want to mirror what the mayor said. None of us are going to withhold any information from you. In fact, any of us will be very happy to help if you have any questions. As far as certain things, who to contact, et cetera, the city staff is very, very helpful, but everybody on the council will be more than willing to help. I mean, nobody's gonna, so don't be embarrassed, because one of the most foolish things any new older person can say is, I'm not gonna ask, I don't know, I'm not gonna admit that I don't know, because I don't know is always something that can be easily fixed. So don't be embarrassed, don't be afraid. I know myself, I always answer every call that I get, if not immediately, very quickly. And I'm sure that every other person you have in the room here was going to be exactly the same way about this. So congratulations, and I look forward to working with you. And after April, I look forward to sitting next to you there.
Thank you, sir. Gentleman from the 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to echo the comments of our mayor and our council president. I welcome you aboard to our esteemed gathering here. If there's anything you need and I can help with, you have my number. I will just give you this little piece of advice, if I may. A lot of people think this is like the West Wing. It's really like C-SPAN. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And gentleman from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to take a quick moment to recognize something that happened today, back in 1922. Virginia Valenti was born, and she was growing up in Southern Illinois, and she's chock full of stories. Last time I went to see her, she told me a story about her greatest thrill as a young girl on a farm, and she used to take plane rides with the guy who used to crop dust her fields. His name was Charles. I said, "Grandma, who's Charles?" She was Lindbergh. Charles used to fly in her neighborhood. But the reason I point this out is Virginia Valenti is my grandmother. She turned 103 years old today. She's lived, thank you. Bravo. She still lives by herself in a house in Phoenix for the past 45 years. She's a pistol, so I hope I have those longevity genes in me. So thank you very much, and happy birthday, Grandma.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, a motion to adjourn on your laptop would be in order. Moving to second to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.